in the meditation this morning, I'd like to invite you to, if you're comfortable, just close your eyes. Bring to mind someone in your life who mothered you. This could be your actual mother, or another woman, or a man, a teacher, a friend, sister, brother. Imagine them clearly in your mind's eye and silently say their name to yourself. Consider how you are grateful to them and allow a few moments of gratitude, till you ring the bell, to fill your heart for this person in your life who mothered you. For the beautiful music this morning. Just really been touching my heart, everything she's been playing. Well, here I stand before you on this Mother's Day morning in this sanctuary filled with mothers and grandmothers and maybe even a few great-grandmothers, and I am not a mother. But even though I am not a mother, I am a daughter, and a granddaughter, and a great-granddaughter, and I have loved and nurtured others in their lives. Each of us here in this sanctuary came from a woman. We can be pretty certain of that. Yes. And each of us here has been cared for, however imperfectly, by women and men, family members, others who have loved us. We would not be here today without their care. Think about that. Our coats have been buttoned. Our runny winter noses have been wiped. Our inconsolable sorrows in the middle of the night have been held by a mother, a father, a teacher, an aunt, a grandfather, a mother. And so, we thank the mothers of the world today, whatever form they've taken for us, and we remember that we too have mothered and cared for others, whether we have been a biological mother or not. As a daughter, I know that I am probably one of the lucky ones here. My mother is still quite vigorous at 88, and we are even on speaking terms. Some of you know that I am choosing to return to the Midwest to serve a congregation there because it's clear that my mother really needs me at this time in her life as her health challenges mount. She raised me as a single mother from the time I was 4 months old and inspires me still with her truly unstoppable joie de vivre. I feel blessed to have her in my life and to have been raised by a person of such generous spirit and love of life. Now, it's time to give back. This wasn't an easy decision, and there were many tears along the way, but I know it was the right decision. As someone in the congregation at Quimper UU told me, this is the last stage of growing up. to give you a little glimpse of my mother, since she hasn't been to this congregation. First of all, imagine a woman with curly, pure white hair. For her 80th birthday, only a few months after her double knee replacement surgery, we went backpacking together in the Cascades. And she proudly told everyone she met on the trail that it was her 80th birthday. I had recruited a handsome young male friend to help me with this adventure, which gave my mother a particular delight. And she announced, after drinking the champagne we had smuggled up for her in our backpacks without her knowledge, "I'd like to do this again for my 90th birthday." I told her that for her 90th birthday we were going to need 4 handsome young men to carry her up the trail and carry her back out again if anything went wrong. I am truly one of the lucky ones. And I know that one day she will be gone, as we heard in that beautifully read poem by Ted Kooser. Let's face it, Mother's Day is a tricky business. There are people here, I'm sure, and maybe some people who aren't here for this reason, who would just as soon skip Mother's Day. Thanks for coming anyway. All those Hallmark cards we are supposed to buy or receive, which never seem to be adequate or inclusive for all of what we feel. Some of us have mothers we needed to get as far away from as possible in order to survive. Some of us have children that have chosen to be far away from us. And so, where does that leave us on this day? Some of us wish to be mothers and couldn't. There are so many stories in this very space here. So many reasons this day is so much more complicated than any Hallmark card expression. My mother says she doesn't believe in Mother's Day, that it was invented by the card companies to make money, which, by the way, gets me off the hook today. The writer Anne Lamott agrees thoroughly with my mother. This is from Anne Lamott. "Mothering has been the richest experience of my life, but I am still opposed to Mother's Day. It perpetuates the dangerous idea that all parents are somehow superior to non-parents. I hate the way the holiday makes all non-mothers and the daughters of dead mothers and the mothers of dead children feel the deepest kind of grief and failure. The non-mothers must sit in their churches, temples, mosques, recovery rooms, and pretend to feel good about the day, while they are excluded from a holiday that benefits no one but Hallmark and C's. There is no refuge, not at the horse races, movies, malls, museums. You could always hide in a nice, seedy bar, I suppose." That's Anne Lamott for you. She continues, "But my main gripe about Mother's Day is that it feels incomplete and imprecise. The main thing that ever helped mothers was other people mothering them. A chain of mothering that keeps the whole shebang afloat. I am the woman I grew up to be partly in spite of my mother, and partly because of the extraordinary love of her best friends and my own best friends' mothers and from surrogates, many of whom were not women at all, but gay men. You want to give me chocolate and flowers? That would be great. I love them both. I don't want them if you're not going to give them to all the people who helped mother our children." That's Anne Lamott. And as long as we're on a critique and rant about Mother's Day, the UU minister, Reverend Cecilia Kingman from Edmonds, by the way, I recommend her as a guest preacher, she's incredible, posted this on Facebook yesterday in the same vein. "I will not be asking mothers to stand tomorrow. I will be preaching on caregiving in all of its forms. I, who have given birth to 4 children and step-parent 1 more, I have been raising children for over 25 years, and I abhor the cult of motherhood in this country. Our culture pretends to adore mothers, but really, we don't support any of our caregivers. We devalue caregiving in all its forms, including those who care for the food we eat and the land we live on. She goes on to write, she's done some research on this, that garbage workers and security guards make twice what preschool teachers and nursing home aides make. And none of them make enough to actually live on. Take that in on this Mother's Day. But despite these critiques, Mother's Day actually has quite a noble heritage. In fact, my mother, the lifelong liberal and social activist and feminist, is in complete agreement with the women who founded Mother's Day. The Unitarian women's rights and peace activist, Julia Ward Howe, was the first to call for Mother's Day in 1870 as a Mother's Day for peace. In 1914, Mother's Day became a national holiday through the efforts of Anna Jarvis in honor of her mother, Anne Jarvis. Anne Jarvis was born in 1832 in rural Virginia, and she bore 13 children, only 4 of whom survived to adulthood. Because of her own losses, she became an activist who worked tirelessly to reduce infant mortality in poor communities, and instead insisted on nursing wounded Confederate and Union soldiers from both sides of the Civil War. And this spirit, still part of Mother's Day, buried beneath those mountains of Hallmark's cards and boxes of chocolate. All week, I've been thinking about the lines from the ancient Metta Sutta that we chanted together just a few minutes ago. Even as a mother, at the risk of her life, watches over and protects her only child, so with a boundless mind will I cherish all living things, even as a mother at the risk of her life. And I think about all the mothers right now risking their lives for their children. So many around the world. The mothers fleeing violence in the Middle East on leaky boats, hoping and praying for a life without violence for their children. Or even more heartrending, the mothers in Central America who send their children north, all the way across Mexico, because to stay means to face forced conscription by gangs or the military. To stay means death for their children. And so they send their children north, knowing they may never see them again, with a slim hope that somehow things could be better elsewhere. All over the world, mothers are making these terrible, heartrending choices no mother should ever have to make. We must remember these women too today. Just take a moment. Think of those probably millions of women around the world. And I think also the women who try as they might, trying as hard as they can, are not able to be good mothers to their children because of their own wounding, their own difficulties. And the mothers who have given up their children or had their children taken from them. These we remember too today. These too are part of Mother's Day. Last year I heard of a movement called Standing Women. Each year on Mother's Day, they ask that people all over the world stand in silence for 5 minutes at 1 p.m. at whatever time zone you're in, making a vow to work to create a world where all children are safe and nurtured. A world where children do not live in fear of violence in their homes, in their neighborhoods, in their schools, or in their world. I invite you, I encourage you, wherever you might be at 1 p.m. today, to join with people in many countries for this meditation. In Buddhism, we talk about the bodhisattva, the person who vows to be a benefit to others in this often difficult world. I think of what it takes to bear and raise a child, and I see bodhisattvas. When I look out into your faces, I see bodhisattvas. Thank you, each and every one of you, for the ways you mother the world and the people you love. Whoever you are, and whatever kind of family you have, I know you care and work for the future, for all of us, for the many children of the world. Just as a mother at the risk of her own life watches over and protects her only child. I want to close by expressing my gratitude to you for this year of opportunity to speak to you, to sing with you, to be in your beautiful, truly beautiful sanctuary in the forest, and to be nourished by conversation and smiles and yummy snacks every Sunday I'm here with you. I know this has not been an easy time for your congregation, but it seems that you are sailing through these waters with grace. I offer my blessings, my really sincere and wholehearted blessings for a bright future and much happiness. And I will miss you. I will truly miss you. Please join me in singing what is, please rise and body your spirit, for hymn number 1002, 1002 in the Teal hymnal, Comfort Me, which is actually one of my favorite hymns of all the hymns we have. So please let it into your heart. Beautiful, beautiful hymn. We have joined together this morning through a range of human feeling. As you go from this sanctuary, I invite you to be tender with yourself and with everyone you meet, bringing this spirit of goodness, this spirit of motherliness out into the world. May all beings be happy. May they be joyous and live in safety. Blessed be.
Blessed be.